Hey, what's up, y'all? It is your girl D, and I am here with another wellness video. Welcome to the Wellness Plug. We are talking about habit tracking. Habit tracking. Today, my goal is to give you a tool to put in your tool belt, and that will help you with refining your lifestyle. So when we're making these big lifestyle changes and we need to, cut things out, add things in and all that, like that can be really overwhelming. And as we talked about last week with the 5 wellness habits that you can add to your routine, we talked about the little ways that you can incorporate those in. And as you start adding those in, you start seeing these drastic changes, right? Okay, cool. I also kind of talked a little bit of shit in there and was like, I bet y'all don't drink as much water as y'all think y'all do. I also said, I can tell you to stretch all day, but y'all ain't gonna listen to me. And I guarantee it's like half of y'all not listening right now. It's fine. I'm going to give you a tool today that is going to help you develop better habits or just help you achieve the routine that you are looking for your lifestyle. And that is habit tracking, guys. We are going to learn how to use a habit tracker today. I also want to teach you guys different types of habit tracking and different ways that you can use habit trackers. It's not just something that we can use for, weight loss. You can use habit trackers for all kinds of things. And then how to guarantee the success of developing said habit while using the habit tracker. So we have a couple of things to cover today. That's what we're doing. Welcome to the video. Let's dive into it. Okay, so on my screen right here, you will see a basic habit tracker. A habit tracker in its simplest form is a checklist, a calendar, a chart that says, did you do this on Monday? Did you do it again on Tuesday? What about Wednesday? Thursday? Friday? Ooh, it's the weekend. Did you do it? Okay, so a habit tracker essentially is a chart that asks you, did you complete the task for the day? What the overall purpose, like anything tracking data, you want to look at the big picture. How many of these boxes are filled in, checked, colored, whatever? Another cool thing about habit tracking is it offers you a sense of accountability. It's your way of putting it on paper and then saying it out loud. Like, do I actually prioritize my hydration? Do I actually get this done? And so for me, it's just that moment of, did I get it done or not? And it's important. It is so important to remember that a habit tracker is a tool, not a weapon. So we don't weaponize our not completed tasks and use that as an excuse to badger ourselves or discourage ourselves and say, see, this is why I don't do this. Like, no, you did it poorly this time. It is important to realize the importance of pivoting. It is imperative to master the skill of pivoting, because if you do not master this skill, life is going to continue to suck and stress you out on a regular basis. Let me explain. When something you want to do does not work out the way that you wanted it to do that time, to not give up, but to not also repeat the same cycle. That's insanity. And that's what makes you feel that way. You need to move with intention and create systems that set you up for success. Find things that appeal to you. Find ways that match your lifestyle. So when I go deeper into like mastering your routine, time blocking, all of that, we'll discuss how that works. My point is for those people that want to become runners or trying to get on a fitness routine, or trying to stop cussing or trying to do better at hydration, I don't know. I just know that I have quite a few friends, especially moms, that find all the reasons in the world to do everything for everybody else, but then when it comes to what they didn't do for themselves, they have a bunch of excuses. They don't put that same energy into, I need to do this for myself. The same energy that we put into, I need to feed my kid, is the same energy we need to put into, let me pour into my cup real quick. As my beautiful friend Chelsea likes to say, you can't pour from an empty cup. So stop doing it. Stop. We always joke about how moms do it all the time, and it's like, haha, but it's like, but no, really. So here's your friend D telling you, stop that shit. Okay, there are so many different ways to track your habits. So one of my favorite way in my planner is I have like my 5 basic habits, right? If we're going off the video from yesterday or going off the video from last week, we would put sunlight, water, stretching, walking, meditation, prayer, right? And so basically every time I get that done, like if I walked outside for 20 minutes, so that's my walking and it's my sunlight. So I've got that checked off at 10 a.m. Then, by 8, did I get the water drink or no? Like it's not an end all and be all. If I know I'm going to finish my water by 12, yeah, I'm checking that off. Bro, I did that, right? But there's those days where it's like, oh, my kid was sick and I could not get outside because he laid on me all day long. Okay, that's fine. Is there a way to walk around the house with your kid? Maybe go up and down the steps a few times when you take a break. There's certainly moments that moms, especially, I'm here for the ladies, I'm here for the moms, but I'm just saying there's ways that we can make things happen if we are more intentional about how we start our day. So I just want to explore these options and these topics while we're here. Also, look at the type of person you are. Read your room. What's going on in here, right? Are you using some tedious, maybe my habit tracker, maybe this basic one makes it too boring. Maybe it makes it too serious. Maybe you need something a little bit more playful. So in which case you can get a habit tracking like coloring page. There's different pages where it's like, for hydration, maybe it's like 30 days and it's got 30 boxes or 30 clouds, 30 flowers. I don't know. There's coloring pages, right? And so basically you color a part of that page every time you complete the habit. That's a cute little habit tracker too. If you are more on the playful, or if we're working on something that involves your kids or maybe involves a team and is more interactive, it is also cool to have a visual like posted somewhere on a board. When I was managing the spa, we had a sales team, and that sales team was expected to bring a certain amount of clients into the clinic. So what I would do each month is I would design a sales board that would have, let's say it was like bumblebees on a flower. Each person had a flower, and however many sales they got to put a bumblebee up every time they got a sale. So it was really cute to come into work and see your flower and be like, oh, I got 6 bumblebees. I'm finna get 7 today, girl. Like, it was cute. And it was actually really fun and playful. Also creates like this little healthy competition. So for like a habit tracker for personal use, it gives you something to look forward to, a sense of accomplishment, something motivational. Like, yeah, I'm going to put my bee on my flower today. I want to point out that you can absolutely get creative with your habit tracking. It does not have to be this scary, finalized, very like itemized list. It does not have to be that, okay? Don't let the preparation and the steps that you need to take to prepare for something keep you from actually getting it done. Because once you establish your foundation, once you get into your routine, once you set yourself up for success, girl, life is going to be so beautiful. I can't wait. That habit tracking also creates a sense of accountability. So we get really discouraged when we don't see boxes filled in or we don't complete something or get something done, right? Like, it's totally understandable. So I say all that to say, like, yes, this might be intimidating at first, but please do not get discouraged. Your blank spaces are opportunities to pivot And so what's not working is you not pivoting, not you not being able to achieve this goal. Okay, I'm done. My rant is over. But explore your obstacles. Like, not all of us operate the same at 5 a.m. So you have to look at your life and say, when is the most likely time for me to get this done? What obstacles could I face? Where do I have the flexibility? Where can I unlearn something? Sometimes our distractions keep us from achieving our goals. Which leads me to my next point. Sometimes we need to unlearn habits. Refining your lifestyle is not just about adding more stuff. It's not. It's also about getting rid of what does not work, what does not serve you. It's like cleaning out your closet or the attic, rather. Okay? It's what is keeping me from taking my walk every day? What is keeping me from being a millionaire? What is keeping me? And I'm going to tell y'all a lot of everybody issue. Everybody has a list, and on everybody's list in the top 3, I'm going to tell y'all right now, we are distracted by our phones. The phone, social media, this fake sense of connection. I would much rather take a walk with y'all. But since that's not the world we live in, right? Create some time when you are screen free. The stuff that is most important to you, put your phone on do not disturb. Turn off the notifications. You not missing nothing. That like on Instagram don't need to be looked at 1 p.m. It can be looked at 6 before dinner when you're making your plate. I don't know. But we need to be real about what's important to us and what's not. So sometimes that means tracking our unhealthy habits. Be real with yourself. Be real with yourself and say, what do I need to stop doing and what do I need to start doing? And then figure out what needs accountability. Maybe you're not so great with spending money on lunch every day. Okay, so then how many times do you spend money on lunch, or how many times do you make your lunch? If you don't want to make an undo habit tracker, right? We did our undo list. If you don't want to make the undo list version of a habit tracker, then make it a positive. How many times did you make your lunch? Okay. It's also really cute to reward yourself every time you do it. And think about things like a swear jar, right? Every time I have a candy bar, I could put a coin. If it costs me money, I'll probably stop doing it. And I'm being so serious. Like, if maybe like every time you don't work out, you give yourself $20 and put it in your savings account. Like, have some sort of accountability. And tracking is the only way to hold yourself accountable. A paper trail is what holds people accountable, right? When people say, do you have a hard copy? Do you have a photocopy? They're looking for evidence, right? So let's prove to ourselves that we're capable of getting things done. And you're getting creative. Also consider rewards. Right? We are so quick to punish ourselves when we don't do something and we take things away or we just quit. When we actually accomplish what we say we're going to accomplish, like, let's celebrate that. Celebrate your little wins. Okay? If it's important to you, it is absolutely worth celebrating. The last thing we need to talk about is how to actually be successful at achieving your goals. So when it comes to tracking your habits, I have a few little tips and tricks that help with managing those things, right? So number 1 is put your tracker where you're going to see it. Like, mine is in my planner. I check my planner every single morning so I know what I'm supposed to be doing for the day, and just kind of aligning my tasks with which day of the week I want to get them done, right? So sometimes we need them in our face, putting them up. I have comm board systems that I use in the kitchen. For comm board is a communication board, so I highly recommend those in households that have more than one person living in them. Even if it's you, it's still a great way to like make a dashboard of little overview of what you need to do. But make sure your tracker is where you will see it, so you're more likely to look at the status of where you're at with getting things done. Number 2, set yourself up for success. Do not say, I'm going to walk 5 miles when you barely can walk 1. Start small. Or, say to yourself, I'm going to do this at this time because it's more likely for me to get it done. Or even just the manner in which you complete it, right? Like, give yourself a system, give yourself tools, ask for help. How am I going to guarantee that I set myself up for success? And then eliminate. Number 3 is plan for and eliminate your obstacles. Plan for those obstacles. Okay, if I know I want to get stuff done in the morning, but I know that, this person normally calls and I have a call that comes in at 9 a.m. Maybe I'm already walking when I take this call. Maybe I plan to walk before the call so that I have enough time to take a shower and really be focused. Figure out what could happen, right? And don't let that be anxiety of what could happen. Let it be, what could happen and how can I work around that? Okay? That's how you create flexibility. You plan for obstacles. You see, what does it look like on my best day when I want to overachieve? And what does it look like on my worst day when I feel like I can barely do anything? How can I feel like I got it done this day regardless, right? So plan and prepare for obstacles. And then my last note is to remember your why. Why are you doing this? What is the point of making sure you're hydrated? For me, I'm not trying to look like what I go through. So just because I'm in the trenches with a toddler don't mean I want to look like that. So hydration for me is more than just feeling okay, feeling energized. It's also like my skin looking supple since I can't afford the facials as often as I want to get them. How this all affects your quality of life. Why are you doing it? Or why are you not doing things? Think about your whys and really hone in on what if you're living intentionally, right? With all that being said, I would love to know habits that you guys are wanting to track, questions you have about habit tracking, anything like that. But in your comment below, please let me know, like, do you habit track? How does that work for you? What obstacles did you overcome? And what are some of your tips and tricks for making sure you get things done? What kind of habits did you have to work really hard to make sure you achieved? Let's talk about it. I genuinely want to know. Keep in mind too, once you master adding something into your routine, a habit tracker is always going to be useful, and you are allowed to constantly refine your lifestyle. So currently I have my 5 habits that I talked about in the last video in my planner for my habit tracking. But once those habits, I feel like they're genuinely engraved in my brain and part of my actual lifestyle, I'm gonna refine my habit tracker and add something else and change things around. Maybe this time it's about my credit. Maybe it's about seeing the elder family members in person a little bit more than I do. These are things that I care about, but I can't concentrate on them all at once, right? So I'm going to focus on getting myself right, making sure my cup is full, making sure that I am the best version of myself that I can be, so that when I do decide to start making more connections with people, and when I do start trying to tackle bigger projects or scary lifestyle changes, I am prepared. That's the purpose of doing all of this, is to improve your quality of life. That's all we're trying to do here while we're here living this human experience, right? And so I just encourage you all to evaluate where you're at, what you are doing, what you aren't doing, what you want to do and what you don't want to do, and then put your money where your mouth is. Track it. See if you actually do what you say you want to do. And so that is my tidbit for today. Please make sure that if you are not already subscribed, that you subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any more of the heat that I am dropping with these tips and all of the wellness information. Make sure that you like anything that you like so I know to keep doing it. And I mean, if you dislike it, that's cool too. Let me know so I just don't waste my time. This has been the Wellness Plug. I'll see y'all later.